Hey guys, once again, welcome to our Let Him Run Bro and JK happy hour here on Let Him Run on a Friday before a big weekend. In many ways, but we have the NCAA Final Four where John is currently residing. John, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Fred? Just got here to the VRBO and walked to the store, and they didn't have beer at the Speedway.
What?
So now we got to walk the other way to get beer.
How far?
0.8 of a mile. But carrying a couple 30 packs back is a little difficult.
The trip back might be a little more demanding than the trip there. It's okay.
Probably we could lighten the load. We could definitely lighten the load on the way back because we'll have the beverages with us, and we can.
That'll help. That'll help.
Beer walk.
And you already had some good luck already. It sounds like.
How about that?
Unbelievable.
Luke, our first-time Final Four, draws the ball out of the conveyor belt with the luggage, and there goes Chucky in the background. So we're scanning the ball here, and it says loser, loser, loser. Luke scans his. You're a winner. You're a winner. He got 2 tickets for the Indianapolis 500, $500 Marriott gift card, $500 St. Elmo's Steakhouse gift card, which we are already going to on Sunday. Thank you, Luke, for Easter dinner. And a $500 Southwest Airlines gift card, shirts, hats, a bunch of stuff. And they're going to be featured on the Purdue website for winning the prize. So check out Purdue social media. They'll be interviewed. They have cameras and interviewing them.
Get out. Oh, my God. Well, maybe we need to get Luke on the show. Maybe we need somebody lucky on the show.
We need Luke to pick our horses. I mean, the way he picks basketballs.
Anyway, well, listen, listen, I hope you guys have a great time. I'm right here with some good people. Hopefully the games live up to what the hype is going to be. They should, of course. It'll be great, but we got a big weekend of racing coming up, John, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is as big as it gets, and this will be basically the end of it. We'll talk on Sunday who's in, who's out.
Well, yeah, after this race, you'll know, it'll begin to shape up. Handicappers will start printing out past performances like crazy. Connections will be making decisions on where they want their horse to run or who they want to ride the horse. So after this weekend, today there's actually one race which we're going to cover. 4 races we'll talk about during our happy hour segment today. The Ashland is being run today at Keeneland, which I believe it's sloppy down there. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Then tomorrow, of course, at Keeneland, it's supposed to dry out a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about that tomorrow on our 12:30 show. But tomorrow we have the Bluegrass Stakes being run at Keeneland, and at Santa Anita. There is later on in the day. There is we'll talk about that today. The Santa Anita Derby and the Santa Anita Oaks. And tomorrow on our show, we'll cover the late pick 5 at Aqueduct, where it's going to be fast, and there's no rain predicted there, so should be nice and fast and dry. Might end up being that way at Keeneland. Who knows? They're talking about the weather drying out a little bit, but certainly today the grass races at Keeneland, John, I think are on turf still. It's good, but the dirt is sloppy. It's sloppy. It's a sloppy track, John.
Okay.
So let's get into the race that's going to be today. The final, one for today anyway. The Ashland Grade 1 race, $750,000. There's one scratch, Night Conda, one horse scratched out of the race. I'll start off with the number 2, Percy's Bar, being ridden by Lou Machado, which makes me very attracted to that horse. This horse might be I think is my pick. Well, number 1, and I have a 1A pick, but this horse has run in some serious company. The strength of races that this horse has been in is far greater than any horse in this field, quite frankly. And this horse has never disgraced herself in any race, John. So I think at 7-2, I'm looking for a Lou Machado, very familiar rider with Keeneland, to take this horse, and very familiar with the horse, has been the only rider on the horse. Horse is working out like crazy too, John. That's my pick.
That's your pick here, and I wanted to make him my pick. First time back off the line.
I guess if I made him my pick, you definitely don't want him then.
No. But his workouts, look at those series of workouts. I mean, that's just,
I know.
bullet after bullet.
Unbelievable.
So, Ben Colbrooks knows this is all or nothing to get this horse into the Oaks. He did beat Tommy Joe last year on the fair, and then he qualified her. So that was a little disappointing. So her 2 Keeneland races, both were actually, she finished first. So, she has an affinity for the track. Is she going to be ready off the layoff? At 2-1, probably good enough to say, over Zany, who's going to be 4-5. Definitely, a must use. Number 3, Zany, going to be everybody's single in the sequence. Done nothing wrong except never switched leads in the stretch. All of her 3 victories. She's all over the place, never switching leads. What do you call it? She was so green last time. And her workouts, the last 2 workouts, she did switch leads when they asked her to, which she must have learned a lot over those last 2 workouts since the last race. So if she figures it out, she's almost going to be, impossible to beat. If she runs her race, doesn't run green, switches leads on cue, she'll be very tough. But until she proves it, there's worth taking a chance a little bit against a 4-5 shot.
I think if you're looking for value, for sure, you want to take a shot against it. Again, everybody's always looking to punch holes in a favorite. I think you made a few points about her being green. Perhaps is a little more mature this time around. A good point about the workouts were when they asked her to change her leads, she did change leads. I think that says something about the horse's maturity. And yeah, if the horse runs to the capacity you think this horse can run, she's going to be tough to beat. But the next horse is kind of interesting too, because the number 4 horse, French Friction, at 9-2, has run a very strong race in the slop already down at Oaklawn Park and put up a very strong buyer speed figure. It was only 6 furlongs. I know that, but I just think if a horse has shown already an affinity for running in the slop, which is what we're dealing with today at Keeneland, that horse, John, at 9-2, certainly is value underneath and may perhaps put her in a place to get into the Oaks on the first Friday in May, John.
Yeah, the sloppy track is definitely the key. Can she stretch out from 6 furlongs going into a grade $1,750,000 race? But she did it impressively both times. She loves the slop. She could get out there. She should be the speed here, especially coming out of a 6 furlong race. If she could slow it down, she could be very tough turning for home. So 3, 4, and the 2. I mean, it's one of those 3, I think. The 5 horse moving on. In Devona Dale, she got, blasted by She Be Smooth, who came out of that race and didn't do much in the next start. So, not much for her in this spot.
Yeah, but both of those runners, the number 4 and the number 5, have very high U.S. time form pace early figures. Omaha Bay has a 130 and French Fiction has a 124. They're clearly by far the highest in the field. So those 2 runners are going to be out front for sure. Percy's Bar doesn't need the lead, and I think that horse is going to track those 2 horses. The number 6, Holly by Golly, 20-1, only been on synthetic and turf, now going to be running in slop. Don't have anything really to say about that horse, John.
No, I couldn't find all synthetic. First time dirt for Rudy Brissett. Maybe an underneath horse that could, get a nice trip and pick up pieces, whatever, but has to improve speed figures to run against these in a grade 1. Star Actress, a little bit appealing on the outside, can take a step forward, really has to improve, the speed numbers. Got beat first time out on the rail. Betty's Pearl and a horse that she beat, Joyful Justice, came back to win. So the race held up. She's a full sister to Just FYI, who Just FYI finished 2nd in the Oaks behind Torpedo Anna.
Yes,
so we know
yes.
the family can get the distance. Justify and the mother side can take a step forward for sure. Bill Mott brings him along slow. He's not, shooting for the moon in this spot unless he thinks he's got a shot. So another one that's, possibility if Zany doesn't run her best.
Pretty much agree with everything right there, John. I think anytime you get Mott and Alvarado together on any stakes big time race, they step up big time. So that horse on the outside has a chance to let the race unfold. Alvarado has been riding very well. Interestingly enough, he is 0 for 14 at Keeneland, though. which is interesting. His stats say that for him, but that doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of. I think he's riding hot now. Again, like you said, Mott brings him along slow. If Mott did not think this horse was ready, I don't think Mott would put the horse in the race. So my top pick, number 2, Percy's Bar. John, your top pick?
I'll make it the 4 at the price, liking this slop to keep going. And I would, play a try with the 4 over the 2, 3, 7, because the 4 is going to be value. You get value on top of a try. If you're playing Zany, you can't really do that because there's just no value. So I'm going to try to beat Zany, even though I know she's going to be very tough to beat. Everybody's single, but I'll take a shot with the 4 over the 2, 3, 7.
And I think Zany, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't necessarily need this race to get into the Oaks.
Oh, she does. She
does. Oh, she does.
Oh, yeah, she needs points. So
then,
that surprised me yesterday when I heard that. I was like, enemy, she needs points.
Okay. So she needs to run the race. That's even a little more dangerous for her. Okay. You want to do which race you want to go to next? I want to go to Keeneland. Stick with Keeneland. We can go tomorrow's Toyota Bluegrass.
Yeah, let's stick with Keeneland.
Currently, the scratch of the class president, number 2, has been taken out of the field. So it puts us down to a field of 8. I believe, yes, there's 8 runners in the field. So Johnny Velasquez, Todd Pletcher, class president out. The number 1, Talkin. The race goes off tomorrow, 6:22. Talkin is listed here, and doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I just think Joel Rosario certainly hasn't run very good races lately. This horse broke his maiden kind of impressively down in Saratoga in the summer. Since then, has put himself in some big races, but hasn't really shown too much, John.
Not on the rail. Really, just I don't think that horse is this level. I mean, it'd be shocked if steps up and does something here. But I don't think this horse. It's a nice horse, going to make some money down the road, but not in the Grade 1 circuit. Great, the 2 scratched. Great White, the 3. This absolute monster of a horse couldn't be named anymore. The horse is 17 and a half hands.
I love the name. I love the name.
Gigantic horse. When the workout, you see, there's one workout posted I saw, and with a pony, like a racehorse next to her, it looked like a little pony next to her. So him. So yeah, he's the wild card. Never been on the dirt, but can definitely volatile. Can definitely dirt. I would definitely include this horse. It's going to be on all my tickets. One of the one of the 3 I would use here for sure as a stab, a wild card, Great White.
No, I think it is a wild card, but it certainly is a wild card you like to have in your hand. I think the jockey's been on this horse 3 times before, knows the horse well. Like you said, the horse doesn't look like an absolute beast, and it has. There's a little bit of an unknown about it being on dirt, but the workout that it just put out on Keeneland, like you said, with the horse riding next to it, and the workout looked like a little pony. Put up a 47-second workout, 47.3 workout. Pretty strong, so it looks like it might take to there. If it does, this horse could be a tough beat. The next horse, Regan's Honor, is my pick. I love this horse. I just think it, it's going to get out. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Great White and Regan's Honor, because I know that Jose Ortiz is going to get this horse out every time they release the last 2 races. Once it's stretched out from 6 furlongs, this horse gets out very strongly, gets out of the gate, likes to lead, wants to lead, needs to lead. Last time that it ran, it won at the fairgrounds. That was pretty much under a hand ride, and still won by 6 lengths. So I don't think you've seen the best of this horse yet. Probably going to need the best on Saturday to take this field down. But I think that horse has a chance, and that is my number 1 pick, John, is Regan's Honor.
Yeah, it's going to be my number 1 pick too. That's the speed here, controlling, comes off Lasix for the first time. That's a question mark how he's going to do without the Lasix. Never been in stakes company. Cherie DeVoe, they thought they had a decent horse, but I don't think they ever thought they had this kind of horse. So as he kept proving himself and stepping up the way he did it with the 96 buyer, they got to give him the shot. And I just think the race sets up, there's not too much speed in here, so he should be the controlling speed. And I'm against further ado, so got to lean somewhere. And I would make Reagan's Honor, hopefully the second choice at, some people were saying that he's going to be bet down to, 6-5, even money. And
Really?
Further Ado might be, 8-5. So you might have the favorite right there. But at 5-2, I'll take, Reagan's Honor on top. Creole Chrome, this Louisiana bred, doing good down in Louisiana. Got away last time, the first time 2 turns. Nobody wanted the lead, went 48-4. Just nobody could touch him at that point. So the race was over at the half. Now stepping into open company, this level, huge step up. I mean, even though he is getting better and better each time, asking a lot for this Louisiana bred to, step up in this grade 1 company.
I don't have any much more to say about that either. The horse is stepping up big time. Yeah, Joe Sharp's a good trainer. I think he's going to try and get this horse out. There's no question this horse is going to kind of go for that. I don't think it'll be holding up very long. Kind of not as fast as some of these other fast horses in this race. So I don't think that horse is going to be in front for long. I mean, having Gaffalione on for the first time always, makes you pay attention a little bit more. But I just don't think the horse is good enough. Here's the number 6, Further Ado. This horse is where everybody's going to probably be taking their hand to. Trained by Brad Cox, ridden by Arad Ortiz. Last time out in Tampa Bay Derby, lost to the Puma. Where do you take that? Well, the Puma looks pretty good right now. 4th, I think, in the Derby ratings. Certainly, this horse has a good chance in here. Probably going to be, I don't know, second choice, perhaps if everybody bets Reagan's Honor down. What do you think, John?
I'm sorry, Fred. I was texting Wadey. He had a question about what was the question? What do I think about?
No, I think I said Further Ado is probably not going to be the favorite. I think you might be right that the public may fall Reagan's Honor. No political statement there, but nevertheless, that horse may end up being the favorite, Reagan's Honor.
And Further Ado has enough points in the standings. Does he really have to go all out here, or Further Ado has enough? Right?
I believe Further Ado has enough. I can check on that, but I believe Further Ado is definitely in no matter what happens. I mean, I was looking at the standings. Those 3 foreign horses, the 2, if there's 1 or 2 Japan horses, those horses are in just because the races they were in are winning. They're in. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So because Nearly's like 22. And right above that horse, again, Nearly's not likely to be. Maybe at best, Nearly will be an AE. So I want to wish somebody to scratch out so Nearly can get in because I'm not sure what that horse is going to do. But anyway, so yeah, I think Further Ado definitely already is in, John. I can double check while we're going through the rest of the horses. Yep.
Okay. Moving on to Moonstrosity, 30-1 shot, Jenna Antonucci. Hasn't broke his maiden yet. Hasn't really even, been close to a maiden. Hasn't been bet. Tough to come up with a scenario for that horse.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Jenna Antonucci made her obviously name known after she won the Belmont with the female trainer, first female trainer to win a stakes race. The thing about it is, there's always going to be opportunities for horses to step up, but I just don't think this horse has an opportunity. The next horse, Tito, is getting some attention from some people, just not sure why. Obviously, Pratt was on the horse when it broke his maiden. Now Lascano got on it. Pratt's back on it for Chad Brown. Maybe that means something. I don't know, but it's not going to be my horse. I mean, I like an outside post. Tomorrow, the dirt may be dried up a little bit better. Won't be sloppy, I don't think.
So it'll be better tomorrow.
It'll be better tomorrow. They're not predicting a lot of rain. So what do you think about that horse, John?
Definitely a sneaky horse on the outside at 20-1. Chad Brown, he wasn't going to send it here. If Paladin was in this spot, he would have never shipped this horse. Paladin's on the sidelines. So he's got enough confidence in Iron Honor in the wood. So he's going to split these 2 up and ship this one down here. Pratt picks up, the ride again when he won last on him and made in special weight. That Withers was such a crazy whacked out race where Talk to Me Jimmy got away and won by 11 lengths. That buyer is a fake buyer. That is not even close to really what happened that race. Everybody that came out of that race behind him has improved their buyer 20 to 30 points, which is more like it. So I'm thinking that, maybe he ran in 84 last time or something like that. So if he takes a step forward, he can
It wasn't
compete.
an honest. Yeah.
Don't let that 65 buyer. I wouldn't trust that really too much. He did disappoint in his last race when it's just such a weirdly run race, and he was 2-1 in that race. Got to give him another shot. Think there's something here that Chad is sending him. Definitely a 21. He won't be 20-1 with Pratt. Those connections with the Scratch Class president. Be lucky to get like 8-1. So one that you could
worth
probably
using
include in the mix if you don't love the favorite further ado. See how deep you could go. But I would be the 4, 6 very defensively, and if you could throw in the 3 as a wild card and the 9. So I would maybe use 4 of them here if you could get away with it.
Okay, we can go to Santa Anita to the West Coast, which these races are going to be run Saturday very late. The first one we'll cover is the Santa Anita Oaks. Currently with a decent field of 7 runners in there. I'll start with the number 1, a Bob Baffert trained force entry, ridden by Mike Smith, Mike Big Money Smith. This is my pick, John. I can stop right here. Number 1 pick. I just think the horse has got a good spot on the rail. Going to follow any speed around, tip out late. Mike Smith, great jockey, Hall of Fame jockey. When he gets in big races, it's time to pay attention. So this is one of 2 Bob Baffert entries, but I think this horse on the rail may have an advantage in this 1.16 mile dirt race at Santa Anita, John. First entry is my pick.
Definitely on my radar here. The buyers just, really keep going up. The turf experiment to start wasn't it. Now most of them may just had to get a race under them. So they got that race out of the way. And, 2 races since have been, pretty darn good. So definitely one of the ones in the mix. And I really, it's Meeting's race to lose. When we get to Meeting, it's her race to lose. But
Sure.
I'm not sold on her, and I don't know if I would, key her. Very tough. It's going to be, 3-5, for Michael McCarthy, but not sold. And one would be one that I would definitely use with the improving buyers. Bank Shot number 2. The 2 turns race. What did I put here? Quietly. The 2 turns and improving. The horse, hit the 2 turns and started improving. Been long odds like crazy, like unbelievably long odds. Based in the beginning of her career, Bottle of Rouge, Super Corridora, Consequent. Then she won. Then she faced Meaning and Forced. She's always right there. Very tough trip last time on heels. Don't think she was going to beat Forced Entry last time, but it really hampered her, and she stayed on for second. Her buyers every single start have gone up. 20-1, I've seen worse long shots. It's going to be in the mix for me.
I wasn't very much looking at that horse until your analysis there, John. I think you hit every nail right on the head there about this horse and who she raced against, who she raced against early in her career. Some big time horses and big races, and held her own. Then last 2 back against Meaning and Explorer, came in 3rd. Last time out came in 2nd. Keeps the jockey Escobedo on this horse for a trainer who's probably not well known. So 20-1, I think that horse is going to stay around 20-1, John. Real quick before I get to French Blue, Further Ado is in 18th place in the current standings and has 36 points. So that horse needs this race for sure.
He's got to come in 3rd. He doesn't have to squeeze the lemon dry, but if he runs and finishes 3rd, it'll be enough to get him in. And that's probably the instructions, not to milk him dry over this race. This is not the ultimate goal. So
unless they need to milk a little to get 3rd place, maybe. Yeah, but
if they have to ride him to get 3rd, but if they have to ride him to get 3rd in that field, it doesn't belong in the Derby.
That's true.
I mean, I wouldn't go to the Derby if you're fighting to get 3rd to get in the Derby.
Okay, let's go to number 3 at the Santa Anita Oaks. The number 3 French Blue, ridden by Florent Geroux. Bob Baffert's other horse. I kind of like this horse too, and at a price of 5-1, you're getting blinkers off the horse. And one of the angles we've talked about many times on the show, John, is when blinkers are on or blinkers are off, what happens to the horse? Well, The horse has put in some serious workouts. Who knows if that was with the blinkers off? It would look like it was. When Bob Baffert takes blinkers off, he wins at 41%. That's a pretty high percentage. We know all Bob Baffert's numbers are always off the roof, off the charts. And Florent Geroux was on the horse last time. Just kind of ran out of gas at the end. Ran a nice race. The two other horses that are in the race beat him forced entry. We just already talked about Bankshot. So this may end up being a replay of the last race where the 1, 2, 3 horse end up being the same, which might not be a bad thing. It just depends on how Meaning's going to do, John.
Yep, French Blue, like you said, all that. But Three Chimneys, homebred, first time 2 turns, tired. I just don't really think watching that race, this is a mile and a 16th type of horse. I think maybe, miler or maybe a cutback to 7 furlongs, you'll see this, horse. But at the low odds here, I'm willing to probably just fade this horse, especially with Florent Geroux, not one of my favorite jocks. So, mile and 16th, I'm going to say it's too far. Yeah. Moving on to Hypergamy, all turf, have no idea. It's a homebred. Again, all turf racing. Now they're taking a shot at the moon here. 1 win out of 8 starts. Lower level stake races. It'd be a surprise. I just don't have enough. But Doug O'Neill has pulled the wool over your eyes before. But it's just not going to be with me.
I can go right on to number 5, Meaning, because I feel the same way. Scratching my head. I love Howard Miller as a jockey. Just don't know why they're putting this horse in this race. Every single race off 8 races have been on turf. Only won 1 time. That was when it broke its maiden. Just a head scratcher. So that horse to me is not anything I'm using. The number 5, Meaning, like you said, hard to get past. Could be a really, really strong horse for trainer Michael McCarthy. But again, if you're looking for holes in a horse, hard to find. JJ Hernandez is riding this horse for the first time. Kind of interesting that Pratt, is not on the horse. Of course, Pratt's not. I don't think he's not in Santa Anita. But nevertheless, in a big race like this, maybe Michael McCarthy has confidence. Well, I guess you could have confidence. JJ Hernandez, he is the jockey of choice at Santa Anita, but there's not much more to say about Meaning. It's going to be 3 to 5, probably going to be more than that. That's all I can say about that horse, John. What's your thoughts?
Like I said, it's going to be very tough to beat. But I don't think this is one that's worth 4 to 5 and lay it in as a stone cold single. I think there's enough. These 3-year-olds can change overnight, and it's going to be tough to beat. Second time, off the layoff from the fall. Basically, Explorer, who she beat last time, came back to win the Honeybee, scratched out of the last race that she was entered. Ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile with Super Corridor, Explorer, Percy's Bar. So she's faced all the good ones, and $440,000 purchase, gun runner, only going to get better with time and distance. What are you going to say? It's going to be 3 to 5. So you got to use it. But I would think that there's enough alternatives in here to maybe try to beat her. Red Cherry, the 30 to 1 shot here. John Sadler, buyers keep going up, but they were on the turf. Now back to the dirt. Not sure I can make a case for this one here. 30 to 1. I'd be a pass on this one.
Yeah, same for me, John. I mean, it's been working out pretty well leading up to this race. I don't think that's enough to hang my hat on a horse like this. Anyway, who has been, like you said, primarily a turf horse. Started career on dirt, 6 furlongs, didn't run too well. Then finally broke a maiden on turf, but not a horse for me. Last horse in the race is the number 7, Brooklyn Blonde. This horse, I find, is Michael McCarthy's other entry. I think this horse from the outside is going to break very hard with Kimura on the horse to get to the lead from the outside. Might have a very good chance to get to the lead. Tried to a mile last time at Santa Anita and won. Wasn't a big field, 6 horses, pretty much standard for Santa Anita at this time of the year. At that time of the year, anyway. Third off and layoff might have a shot. Not sure. Exactly where I would like this horse to be, but I just think having Kazushi Kimura on it adds to the appeal as a Santa Anita rider on a good horse that's got some speed, got some wheels. Just broke the maiden last race, so first time with big time winners, John. But I think the horse might have a shot.
Yeah, this is definitely one that's improving. Buyers every start, stretch out around 2 turns, answered that test. 6-horse field, maiden special weight. You don't know what she was facing behind her, but in the first lifetime start, Bottle of Rouge, Super Corridora, and she really didn't do any running there. But they thought high enough of her to 3-1 in that field of 7, so she took money against those 2 good ones. And then 6 furlongs, off the long break, she didn't get the job done. 2-1, 5-2, and then first time around 2 turns, Gun Runner, probably waiting for that 510,000 purchase. Yeah, one that I would include in the mix. Like I said, I would probably mess around with the 1, 2, 7, and defensively with the 5. So I'd maybe try like a try with those 1, 2, and 7 with the 5 running second, with the 1, 2, 7 for third, trying to beat the favorite there. So I'd play around 1, 2, 7.
You're certainly looking for value. That's a good way to play. And if it comes out, you could be sitting on a pretty decent payout, which would not be a bad thing at all. Okay, race 10, the final race we're going to look at for today. Don't forget, tomorrow at 12:30, we will be back on reviewing what happened in the Ashland that goes off later today. And we will be covering the late pick 5 at Aqueduct, which is a great card. The late pick 5, which includes the Wood Memorial and also the race for fillies, the Gazelle, which will be run at 5:56, and the Wood Memorials at 6:34. So let's get to the last race at Santa Anita, John. The Santa Anita Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby, 1 1/8 on dirt, with currently another field of 7. The number 1 is Cherokee Nation, one of 2 Bob Baffert horses in here, ridden by John Costin's favorite jockey, Florent Geroux. So we know how he's going to feel about that. Again, Bob Baffert has all the numbers in the world. The horse is 5-2. Put up a pretty nice buyer speed figure last time out with Jaramillo on him. I love Jaramillo. He used to ride at Gulfstream Park, was one of the leading jockeys there, took his tack out to the West Coast and has done very well there. I guess Bob Baffert, he won by 10 lengths, put up 100 buyer speed figure at a mile. And Baffert giving the ride to Geroux. John, how do you feel about that?
Took a while to, break the maiden, ran with some good ones there. They thought high enough to run them in those grade 3s and grade 2s as a maiden. Didn't disgrace, but really was like a non-factor in those 2 races when faced winners. 6-horse field, $1, even money. Supposed to do that, in that field. Hunter Buyer really was an abnormality from the previous 5 starts, so that was out of the blue. But the race really was that fast. Now we'll have to make the running from the inside. I mean, it's going to be pushed in there. I just don't like the rail draw in this field for this horse at low odds. I'm willing to try to take a stand against that. That maiden was like a little bit of a fluke. I know Gus Alonso, this is one of his Derby horses. I mean,
is that right? Okay.
On top of his top 10 Derby list. That was, his top 1. So he's expecting him to run big. I'm going to probably, what is this here? Potente. They've raced, they worked out together. You can see the workouts May 26th. And Potente and Cherokee Nation worked as a team. And Potente was waiting and letting Cherokee Nation try to stay. But at the end, Potente pulled away by like 7 lengths in the workout. You can see by the time there, 5 furlongs and 59-1, and Cherokee Nation got it in 1 minute and 4. So they worked together, and it was no match. So I'm definitely going to fade Cherokee Nation. Potente will be, he'll be my top pick here, because Baffert, after that maiden race, when 4 or 5 horse race won, then Baffert said that wasn't Potente that we know.
Sure.
After the next race, when put him in the stake race right off the maiden, and he said that's the Potente we were expecting.
Sure.
That horse, turned the corner, and once got straightened away in the stretch, just blew him away, galloped out way in front of the field, got going very late, but then when he got going, it was just lights out. So I think he's going to like the added distance. Mile and eighth, unfortunately, is probably going to drop to even money in here for Baffert, depending on what the one, if he takes money or not. I'm hoping the one takes a lot of money and Potente doesn't get killed, but I'll make Potente my top pick here.
Potente certainly is a horse that for all the points you just made, John, makes a lot of sense. I'm going to take a look at a different horse. JJ Hernandez is riding this horse again. Obviously, not going to be 2-1, definitely 8-5 or less for sure when all is said and done and the gates open. We'll move on to number 3, Vertuvian Man. One of 2 Doug O'Neill's entrants. 15-1, hot jockey from Santa Anita, Antonio Fresu, riding this horse for the first time. Kind of interesting, Doug O'Neill's putting that jockey on this horse. But first time, the horse has had lots of different jockeys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th different jockey. John, you've owned horses. What does that usually mean if an owner changes the jockey 6 times? The trainer.
I don't know if that's Doug O'Neill, but they were all different tracks. I mean, every single race in this horse's life was at a different track.
I was just going to say that's probably why. But the horse obviously still.
There's no jockey that's going to be traveling around with this horse going to these different spots when he is in a restricted maiden special weight, optional maiden claimer. So wherever he ships the horse to find the spot, he's going to find the best jock. There's nobody tied on saying this is my Derby hope. I'm going wherever this horse runs.
No, for sure. I just find it interesting that there was that 6 jockeys have ridden the horse. Again, 6 different tracks. For sure, it's going to be six different jockeys. Just interesting.
Looks like a horse that could sit back and make a run and maybe finish second or third and pick up pieces at a big number under the try. Robusta. If you missed them last week, which I did for sure, 67-1. Now you're going to be taking 5-1 on this horse. Even though he ran the best race last race, I mean, he stayed on with that hot pace. Potente stayed back and, passed him at the wire. But it really looked deep and stretch that 70-1 shot was going to win. And he's been, long odds all the time. Hasn't really disgraced, even in the lowest, was right there contending and, just dropped back. But once he added the blinkers after the race, I know Doug O'Neill said the blinkers were the whole difference. So if you believe that, and I'm a big second-time blinker fan, you got to, use Robusta again.
Well, Robusta is my top pick. I just love Jaramillo. I think Jaramillo wants to get to the Derby. Robusta currently is in 22nd place with 35 points. So if he runs a second or a third, that'll probably be enough points. Not probably will be enough points to get this horse in the jockey in the Kentucky Derby, and then jockey Jaramillo will be probably thrilled to be in the Derby. Not sure Jaramillo has ever been in the Derby before. I'd have to check my information on that, but I think Jaramillo is going to be fired up to ride this horse. This horse is ready to ride. Since that last out on March 7th, has had a couple workouts. This horse is not a workout horse. We've talked about that before. Some horses will work out and look like they're going to run well. This horse just doesn't do that. I think this horse gets ready once he is on the track. And so at 8-1, I'm not so sure the horse is going to go down to 8-1. I mean, I don't know how running right behind Potente, just losing, the horse can still be 8-1. And then Potente is 2-1. I thought this horse, before I had my odds posted on my past performances, when I said, I like this horse, I thought it was going to be put down as 3-1 or 4-1. 8-1, I'm all over this horse. And I know it's probably not going to stay at 8-1, but just like I said, I didn't get a chance to look at our friend Ed DeRosa's fair odds on this race yet. I'm going to check it out because I like to see what his fair odds are on this horse, John.
Yep. Moving on.
Yes. So happy. Sorry, Mike. So happy. I wasn't happy about so happy. So happy you get Mike Smith on a horse that 2 races back at 7 furlongs in the San Vicente at Santa Anita. Put up a really strong 96 buyer speed figure. You can put some weight into that if you want. This horse ran 3rd behind Potente and Robusto, and this horse came in 3rd, and it's 7-2. So I don't understand the odds, how they can figure that out. But anyway, that's this horse certainly has a chance. Mike Smith riding in California always is going to be a chance. Mark Ladd, good trainer. The horse is ready to run. Has a couple good workouts leading up to this race, John. So definitely a horse to keep in mind.
Yeah, it disappointed me a lot last time. I really leaned on him in a lot of multi-race bets at 2-1. He just let me down, so bad. Regressed 10 points on his buyer. So he's good enough to win this race, but I'm too disappointed from last race. So we'll see how he does here. If he can rebound, and the price might be square enough on him. So just watching this photo.
Oh no.
And I lost it. 11-1.
Oh God.
A bourbon for Toby just beat me.
Who? A
bourbon for Toby beat me at the wire.
Interesting.
He beat the 9 at the wire. 9 led deep stretch, and he got beat. Oh my God. Let me see. We are so happy. Start to ride. I couldn't find anything for this Dan Blacker horse. Just breaks so bad and gets himself way out of it. He recovered in the Cal Cup Derby, but other than that, if he breaks any bit bad, he's not going to contend with these horses. So I'm not going to take a chance he breaks good today.
No, I agree with that. Start to ride, and the horse does have terrible breaks, puts himself behind, and in a race like this, if you put yourself that far behind, I don't think that horse is good enough to get it to finish the job from so far back. The number 7, Trepo, with the jockey Hector Barrios on, Jeff Mullins. This horse just only had one really bad race in Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Got beat pretty bad by Ted Nafi and Brandt. A couple of it was off slow, didn't run very well. If you look at his other races, runs pretty well, and has an odds of 7-2. I think this horse is probably going to get a lot of favorites there. It's going to get bet down a lot from 7-2 because of the trainer jockey combination of Hector Barrios and Jeff Mullins, Santa Anita favorites. I don't think the horse is good enough to win. I don't think so. Anyway, I don't know where this horse stands in the Derby standings, to tell you the truth. But while you're making a comment, he's 23rd, has 25 points. So if he has any hope, he's going to need to run in a good race.
Yeah, he's a question mark for me. I definitely think he can do it. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, that was my big pick behind Ted Nafi in a big exacta, and he just didn't run that day at all. He finished next to last. Then he rebounded off that race, first time back off the layoff, ran a nice second, took Plutarch, who we had that day. I think both of us picked Plutarch.
I think I remember Plutarch, yeah.
In that, or Lewis. So he did, get beat by, the pick that we made. It could be interesting from the outside, maybe a stalking trip out there. But like you said, I don't know if he's good enough to win this race. Maybe a good under horse, probably get, second or third, and maybe get enough points for the Derby. So,
yeah.
But I would think I would probably lean on the 2-horse Potente. I would include 7 Intrepido and Robusta and So Happy, and try to fade Cherokee Nation.
Yeah, I think you already mentioned the reasons why fading Cherokee Nation is a good idea. I agree. I'm just looking forward to watching Jaramillo and Robusta tomorrow night. So, John, with your voice being a little bit more melodious than mine, why don't you take a minute and thank our sponsors, please?
Yes, it's a lot better to hear my voice than Fred's. So thank you to Case's Pork Roll, Cases for the Taste, family owned, and the Vape Shop on Route 33 for all your vaping needs, and our newest, biggest sponsor, Brisnet.com, for all your handicapping needs. I didn't hear much talk about EE or early pace, late pace today, or any prime power. So we'll have to, get that into the mix tomorrow, Fred, with the prime power and get.
Oh, there'll be plenty of talk about prime power tomorrow because 2 of my picks are the number 1 prime power. I don't want to give anything away today, but I'll just say this: be sure to tune in tomorrow on Sports Talk Media Nation at 12:30. Where John, myself, will be back on again. I'm sure John will have some good stories to tell from this evening's festivities with his friends out there in Indianapolis. So, John, before I end with our signature goodbye, any final words?
No, just looking forward to tomorrow's great race. And now that I'm out of the late pick 5 at Keeneland, which I was preparing for, all day, and first race, get nipped at the wire, and we're out. So Whether I run back to pick 4, I don't know. Still alive at Aqueduct and a $17 winner in that sequence. So maybe that'll bail me out today.
Well, John, I just put our signature saying up there for you to take a look at. Bet smart and cheer hard. Remember, fast horses do here can lead to some serious fun. But in the end, hey, just let them run, right, John?
We'll let them run today, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right, have a good night, John. Have fun. Good luck. Talk to you tomorrow, brother. Later.
All right.
Bye.